The 2023 World Happiness Report has been released by the Sustainable Development Solutions Network using Gallup World Poll data. It looks at 6 categories to estimate happiness levels: income, health, social support, freedom, generosity, and corruption. In the latest report, the happiest country is Finland. It's been at the top of the list for 5 years now. Some say the reason for this is the mindset of the Finnish people, who reportedly find satisfaction in having their basic needs met, prefer working together over competing, and they're not much into bragging about wealth. I've never been to Finland, so that might be an overgeneralization, or maybe it's spot on. If you know, say something in the comments. Hey, we'd all love to know the secret to happiness. Denmark is ranked as the 2nd happiest country, so if there's something rotten in the state of Denmark, it sure isn't their outlook on life. The Danish pay some high taxes, as much as half of their income, plus a value-added tax on items and as much as 150% on cars. But they have mostly free healthcare and college education and relatively low crime and corruption. Iceland is the 3rd happiest country in the world. It's fairly small with a population under 400,000, and it has more than its share of folks who deal with depression and anxiety. But the natural beauty, sense of community, and being a welfare state seem to tilt the scale toward overall happiness. During the recession, Iceland handled the banking situation differently than many countries. They let the banks fail, jailed some of the bankers, and bailed out the citizens. I never understood why the US didn't handle the mortgage crisis like that. The 4th happiest country in the world is Israel. I was really surprised at this one. I mean, haven't they been at war basically forever? Israelis say that happiness likely comes from the strong sense of family and community, along with the beauty of the sun and the sea. And some say it's because they find meaning in something that's bigger than any individual and feel a duty to look beyond their own circumstances. The Netherlands, which some refer to as Holland, although the terms aren't interchangeable, is the 5th happiest country in the world. Dutch employers and employees have this crazy idea that work-life balance matters and that prioritizing employee well-being motivates workers and makes them more productive and happy. Good healthcare, education, and housing doesn't hurt either. I would have thought they'd rank high on this list just because of all the brightly colored flowers. Sweden ranks as the world's 6th happiest country. Mild summers with long days are great, but the cold winters would knock this one off my personal list. But there are other things beside the weather to consider. One of the more interesting, the lack of waste in Sweden. According to one report, 99% of waste in Sweden is recycled and only 1% goes off to the landfill. Sounds pretty cool. The World Happiness Report ranks Norway as the 7th happiest country in the world. Norway is among the many Nordic countries of Northern Europe at the top of this list. The connection to nature is often cited as a source of Norwegian happiness. I'm not really into the cool and cloudy scene, but hey, some people like it. The Norwegian Institute for Public Health says that the welfare system and absence of any worry over basic needs being met also contribute to the country's happiness. The World Happiness Report ranks Switzerland as the 8th happiest country in the world. They ranked number 1 back in 2015, so they've fallen a bit, but coming in 8th still sounds pretty happy. Is it the chocolate, the Swiss cheese, or maybe the usefulness of the Swiss Army knife? Maybe it's the fact that Switzerland hasn't been involved in a war for 150 years. Luxembourg comes in number 9, and New Zealand lands at number 10 on the list of happiest countries in the world. If you're wondering about the US, it ranks number 15 on the list, following number 11 Austria, number 12 Australia, 13 Canada. Wait, Canadians are happier than Americans? Wonder why so many of them come here then. Anyway, and number 14, Ireland, which I would have expected them to rank much higher, what with St. Paddy's Day being like a year-round event. 15th isn't great, but it's not anywhere near the bottom of the list in the World Happiness Report, which goes down to number 137. Kind of like how some states will rank low on some list and say, well, thank God for Mississippi. Looking at some of the things that stand out about the top-ranked countries in comparison to the USA, we have a lot of that stuff. There's no shortage of natural beauty here in America. We've got beaches, rivers, lakes, mountains, deserts, and everything in between. We've got warm, sunny places, cooler spots, and even some of those gray, cloudy areas. There's also some really great people here in America. College education isn't free, but a degree is becoming less and less relevant every year. It doesn't seem like we have the general feeling of safety like the Swiss or the comfort of personal financial security like Finland, but we also don't have to hand over the vast majority of our paychecks to the government and trust that they'll spend it wisely to take care of us. Yeah, so maybe we're not too big on that trusting either. Or maybe Maybe that's just me. We've got something else though, American ingenuity. And as soon as we figure out how to stop drawing arbitrary lines that divide us into sides like Republican and Democrat or black and white, and realize that we have a lot more in common than what we disagree on, like we all basically want the same things for ourselves and our children, health, happiness, and financial stability, there's no limit to what we can accomplish. What about the UK? Well, the United Kingdom came in at number 19 on the list after Germany at 16, Belgium at 17, and Czechia at 18. But look here, UK, 19 isn't a bad spot, especially for a country where the sideshow gets more publicity than the main event. And that sideshow is the expensive distraction known as the royal family, which is kind of like a soap opera from the 80s that just keeps going on and on. France ranked number 21, Mexico came in at 36, Japan was number 47, China came in at 64, Russia at 70, and the lowest ranked country on the World Happiness Report, coming in at number 137, is Afghanistan. That one's probably self-explanatory. As I said in the beginning, I didn't make this list, and I'm sure some people will disagree with where some countries were ranked. There's people that disagree with the methodology of the report, and I'm not here to defend it. I'm sure you could go about making this list in all different ways and come up with all different results. After all, happiness is both individual and transient, and if I don't take my meds, I can tour both ends of that happiness scale in the same day. I hope this video brought you some happiness, and if it did, please subscribe, which will bring me some happiness. Then we'll all just be happy no matter what part of the world we're in.